Well, a long time has passed, hasn't it? Today was a weigh-in that kind of changed things. So we are now many weeks later from the last video, and as much as I hate to say this, I struggled a lot. It got to a point where I can honestly say my mental health was suffering greatly, and I was unable to focus. I was unable to do my job properly. I turned into just a horrible mother, and I can only imagine that I was the same as a wife. And when it comes down to it, nothing is worth that. Nothing is worth your mental health being compromised. So in this long overdue video, lots of good things have happened, some not so great things have happened, and we are starting anew. Well, things that have changed: got new glasses. Braces have come off. Danny has lost a total of 51 pounds so far, which is phenomenal. I was close to, I want to say 23-ish pounds. I'm just ballparking it, something, whatever that word is. I'm just somewhere around the 19-20-ish at the most lost of pounds, and things have changed a little on the diet for me. I got to a point where I was so upset about everything, really just having a hard time. I think it was because, I'm gonna go off on a bit of a tangent here, but when I was in my early 20s, I saw a photo of myself and that was it. I couldn't handle it anymore. And a couple friends of mine at the time when I was living in Ottawa said, hey, for the summer, this was, I want to say maybe like around, April, I want to say, for the summer months, while colleges and universities are off for 4 months, May, June, July, and August. So they said, hey, do you want to join a gym? Now I know I'm going back a significant amount of time here. This was probably around 2004-ish, maybe. I lost a lot of weight, but it was in my control. I loved going to the gym. I found a spot to take all of my stresses and my anxieties and put it towards something super productive and super releasing, really. And I loved it. I loved it. I tried to keep up with it a little bit when I moved to southwestern Ontario, but a number of things were going on at that time in my life, and I was not able to keep it up. But at that time, my heaviest was, I want to say 180 or 185 pounds, and in my own control and in my own restrictions for myself on the diet that I put myself on. And I don't even want to call it a diet, because at that point I truly had made this lifestyle change. I was able to lose 60 pounds. I actually even had to gain a little bit back because I looked a little sickly. I didn't like how my face looked at that point. And it was wonderful. I found a new level of confidence that I hadn't found before. Of course, I lost some friends in that process. I actually had a friend who was my best friend at the time, had been my best friend for years, but only ever knew me as I don't even want to say fat. I want to just say it wasn't me. It was truly me. I was in my fat suit, really. For the years that I knew her, she couldn't take it. She hated it. She hated that I had lost the weight. She belittled me. Anyway, I'm telling you, there we go, off on that tangent. But the moral of this little side story is that in my own control and in my own capacity, I was taking care of two things. I was taking care of my physical health and I was taking care of my mental health. And that's something this time around, that when I lost the first about 15 pounds, I guess, ish, it was something my body craved. I craved it desperately. And I wasn't allowed to do it. And I think it took a lot out of me, and it was very hard for me to express it. And it seems like something so minor, really, but it wasn't to me. It was, I felt like my hands were literally tied, and I didn't like it. And I started to not be able to deal with the amount of calories. Now, keep in mind, I had been doing this for at least 6, 8-ish weeks. I like that word ish. I just noticed. I say it a lot. Between 6 and 8 weeks, I did it faithfully. Exactly what I was supposed to have. Never cheated once. Never had any intention of cheating on this diet. But I couldn't do it anymore. I began noticing around 3:30, 4 o'clock, I would start shaking. And then it would start earlier in the day. And I don't know if it was my body retaliating, that I wasn't giving it what it desperately craved, which was my outlet to get rid of this stress and everything that I was holding on to mentally. And I do have a separate video I'm going to do, it was a tag that was done a number of weeks ago that was for teachers, and it was for introverted teachers. So I'm gonna go into that in a separate video, but I am extremely introverted. I internalize a lot of things. I don't like to appear, I guess, sometimes appear weak. And sometimes I feel like if I talk too much or I give too much away to some people, that it just opens me up for wounds, and I don't like it. So this idea of going to the gym, again, seems very minor, but is something I desperately wanted and still do. In the current time, I am on an adjusted diet, which is not something that I would encourage you to do if you can avoid it, simply because it does change things. But if you and your coach, basically talk to your coach, be honest with your coach. I did not vocalize it enough. And I can't blame that on anybody but myself. You can't expect people to understand what you're going through and what's going on in your mind and what's going on overall. They can't guess. They just can't. And I'm really good at putting on an act when it comes down to it. I'm not a good liar. I can't, tell you to your face, hey, the sky is purple. I'm going to convince you that the sky is purple. I'm totally going to lie about it. No, I can't do that. I'm not a good liar. But if I need to hide something from you in terms of things that's going on with me, or something that's very personal, I am good at hiding that side of me, that side of, if there's a problem. So, the adjusted diet slows down your weight loss process. Doesn't mean you're not going to get there. You're going to get there still. And I have lots of time. I have until the end of August to reach my goal. I don't doubt that I can reach my goal, but with this adjusted diet, I can join the gym. So I'm going to be starting to go to the YMCA, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, that's all part of stuff that has changed. So I hope that you will all stick with us in this journey. Dan is doing amazing. He looks fantastic. He's had to buy lots of new clothes. Yeah, so I apologize for the delay in this video going up, and I'm sorry that it's short and there won't be any bloopers, but just a little bit of a raw look and a full, honest disclosure about what has been going on, and to say that I worry I haven't gone anywhere, but I just needed that. I needed that time to kind of organize everything in my mind and get ready to, like, YouTube is a scary place. It's, you're opening up your heart and soul and family to the entire world and to all the possible criticism that could be coming along with it. So I needed to kind of brace myself and get things going. But yeah, we're still going on this journey, so I'm hoping that you stick with us.